And greetings, viewers, family, people, and ghouls. We are live on Sunday for another Vampire the Masquerade. And I have a child come and see me. Go to bed. Jesus Christ. Anywho, another Sunday gone by. Episode 16 tonight, guys. This is going very, very well. The story is very well indeed. Just a quick message of something I forgot to mention last Sunday. I put it in the Discord. Last week when I advertised for Vampire the Masquerade that we were doing our vampire stuff, none other than Mr. Jason Carl liked our live tweet and the advertising tweet for our little story. So that's kind of cool. For those who don't know who Jason Carl is the storyteller for LA by Night and the branding manager for World of Darkness. Very cool to have one of the leading figures in the World of Darkness liking things about our little story. So these guys may be popping in from time to time, checking us out, which is awesome. We're enjoying what we're doing. Hopefully they enjoy what they see as well. Satan, what's up? Having Satan join the show, which is all good. Oh, hell, Satan. No, kidding. I'm not a Satanist, people, just so you know. But anywho, without further ado, we shall turn over to Sid Storyteller and start tonight's episode of Vampires of Melbourne, Blood and Belief.
Well, good evening, Vampires of Melbourne. Last game, or previously on Blood and Belief, the Hounds began their Tuesday night at their haven, preparing for various engagements. Aaron received a text from Mick, letting him know the acid rounds had been received, and Pip also got a text from a friend whom he told to call him tomorrow night, as they were busy, or as he was busy. Jax and Zane discussed microphones and whether to take them or not to their meeting with Sarah. They also discussed about having a few men around to keep watch during this meeting. Aaron asked Echo, who was practicing her knife throwing skills, to aid him in organising a suit for her masquerade ball on the Wednesday night. Pip seemed to acquire a few more roaches as pets, and he was curious about dancing, so a small lesson was given. A few hours later, Sarah Barnett was at Gunbury Park on a picnic blanket, and this is where she held her discussion with Jax and Zane, and for the most part, it was a good show of respect and a sharing of information. Each party left the chat reasonably happy with the outcome. Aaron and Pip and Sarah arrived at Elysium after that meeting and discussed matters with Leslie before the meeting that they were to have with the anarch barons. Leslie made note for them to keep their internal bickering out of the space, while the Keeper of Elysium organised the anarchs and the primogens to their seats. Echo went to visit Peggy whilst all this was going on, and she suggested that it was time to move again, and at Peggy's disapproval she offered to ghoul her, but Peggy was also against the idea. Echo then offered to maybe have her come to live on the yacht, which Peggy liked a lot more, but Echo didn't seem convinced that was the safest option. Not until the name of Sam was mentioned, and then Peggy was keen as mustard to do what she wanted. Nonetheless, Jax and Zane went to Elysium mid the Anarch Baron meeting behind the scenes and called in to collect Sophia Hall's keys to make the copy or the exchange. However, Zane couldn't resist, and he got out a laptop and started copying whoever else is at Elysium's phone information and tablet information as well. Jax went outside with a doorman and kept watch while Zane worked his magic. Lastly, the meeting was interrupted by a man in black. He wished to be a part of said Baron's meeting, or at least a meeting of the leaders of the city, and stating that he was a leader himself. But Leslie was quick to anger and pretty much told him he wasn't invited, and it was a meeting of the anarch leaders only, and if he wants to have a meeting he needs to go through the proper channels. The man, who named himself as Jonathan Phillips, put it on his hat and coat and exited the corridor, leaving pitch black behind him. And so it is here we continue our Tuesday night. Close to midnight now. We begin in the streets of Melbourne. We actually begin about 10 minutes before we left off, just outside the building that the kindred call Elysium. The streets are aglow with a yellowed stain of street lighting, and far above, a Channel 1 news helicopter motor can be heard droning as it passes, chasing whatever story is in its sights. Jax, you've stepped outside. You'd made your call, and there was another guard out there with you. You're waiting on Zane to finish his bits and pieces. I would like you to make a wits awareness roll, please.
Wits and awareness. Two successes.
You notice the shadows are heavy tonight. There's dim lighting from the street lamps. Nothing major tips you off. You're just noticing that there's extra shadow. Could be the cloud overhead. Could be the moon darting in behind that cloud. The guard next to you, Jenkins, says, "Damn weather," as he looks around. Looks like it could be threatening rain again.
Would, just out of curiosity, based on what happened at my haven, would that make me more suspicious of what I'm seeing or sensing, or would it be more just weather related, do you think?
I feel it would be, with that roll, I don't think you tip it to anything more.
Okay.
Yeah, Jenkins just says, "Damn weather," and the lights above his head flicker, and he says, "Yeah, it does at that time, sometimes when the wind picks up." "Hey, Jax, have you had much progress with your investigation, you and the hounds?"
We're getting there. I mean, can't give too much away. You understand, but
That's fair.
we've got some leads. We're working them. Part of the reason we're here tonight, actually.
As you're talking, he pulls out a cigarette, lights it. You know he's a kindred, and he sort of takes a puff and goes, "Yeah, it's a shit habit, but I'm just used to it, and it doesn't hurt me now, right?"
True. No worries about dying of cancer, I guess.
Nope.
With that, Jackson sort of looks around, takes note of the weather, and says to Jenkins, "You got this? I better go check on Zane. Find out what's taking so long."
Yeah. We're supposed to have two at the door, so just as quick as you can, really.
I'll send the other guy back out.
Good as gold.
So I'll head in.
Good as gold. Perfect timing, because Zane, while Jackson is having a chat outside, you're sitting in the entrance. You've got your computer open. You've just began to also jack in the cell phones in a box that you've had next to you. The guard on the inside door says something. Can you roll a wits awareness for me as well?
Murder trash.
Wits. Where'd that go? It's here somewhere. Okay. Need that. That one. Three of those. Nice. I think that's it. Hang on. I need to make sure.
That is fair. You've got a lot on your plate with your cell phones and your keys and your computers.
Success with a failure.
Okay, so one success and one failure. The failure's on the blood dice?
Yes.
Zane, you gain a point of hunger.
Okay.
Because that is a fail.
Yeah, that's 2 for me now.
You have 2. You hear the guard talking to someone, and you're concentrating on what you're doing. You look over, you can see a man beside the guard, but he doesn't really pull your attention. There's too much going on. What you can see past the guard is just a man in black. The man stands in front of the guard, who says to him, We need your phones or tablets or any other electronics. Sir, you cannot have anything else in Elysium. The man says, not a problem, and hands over a cell phone. The guard comes and pops it in the box next to you as he reaches in the door, and then he walks or points the man in black down the corridor. You don't, with that roll, you don't recall the doors opening, and you don't recall the man walking in. You just recall the guard talking to him. As the phone's dropped in the box, the only thing you can spot there is it's just a thick, heavy red and black flip-top brick, something a lot older than what you've seen in the box otherwise. After the guard directs the man off where to go, that is it for him. The guard then steps back into the office, and Jax walks in to greet you. Jax and Zane, I'll leave it to you.
What's taking so long? We haven't got all night. We've got other things to do. We've got places to be.
I'm doing that, and I decided to do something else too, but that's another story.
What are you doing, Zane?
I'm cloning phones.
We're not here for people's phones. We're here for the remotes.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Have you done that? Is it finished?
Have I finished?
Zane, you know you've got about half an hour to go before it's going to be finished, the clones.
Yeah, got about half an hour.
Right, 30 minutes. Meet me out front in 30 minutes. Don't go anywhere else. Don't do anything else. Concentrate on that. Something's not right. We've got to get out of here as soon as we can.
Yeah, when I finish doing the phones. Oh, hang on, no. Sorry, the keys.
If I have to hurt you, Zane, I will. You know that.
Zane, you'll know you're not going to get all the phones in that half an hour. You might get half of them if you're lucky. And there's about 25 phones. I can't remember exactly what I said last time, but there's about 25 phones there. But phones and tablets. So you're not going to get all of them, just so you're aware.
And with that, Jax will go talk. Was the guard that was with Zane still in there, or has he gone somewhere else?
He sticks around. They can't leave the area, so he's still there.
I'll just say to him, look, as soon as he's done, get him outside. I'll be back out the front. Obviously, we want to keep this place secure as possible.
With that information, I finish up the phone that I'm doing and see if I can't move this encrypting a little bit faster.
Sorry, Zane, would you say that again? I didn't quite catch it.
So the phone that I've got that I'm working on cloning right now, I'm going to finish that off, then move on to the keys, see if I can't move them along a little bit faster with a few tweaks here and there.
I believe you said last time you pulled out your laptop separately for the phone, so it won't cause any interference with you. You had to get an app specific for the cloning, so I don't think it's going to interfere with what you're doing there, but it's up to you.
All right, I'll leave it as is then.
Okay, good as gold. Zane, anything else from you?
No, not at this stage.
Evil, if we could switch to just Echo in this scene, that would be good, thanks.
This Echo, not a problem.
Echo. You receive a text message from your sire. You're getting back into your car after your visit to Peggy, if I remember rightly, somewhere around that area. Other than that, what are your plans for the night, and what are you up to now?
I'll probably go back to my yacht until I get a call. Maybe the Haven. I might go to the Haven, because everyone's going to meet at the Haven probably, so yeah.
Okay, back to the temporary setup Haven?
Yep.
Yeah. Which is at least purchased by you now, by the group.
For now.
Sweet as. Is that it for Echo this
I
this
think
point?
that's it. Yep. So
Nice and quick and easy.
Yep.
In that case, we will switch to Elysium. Thanks, Evil. Scene 2. The Anarch meeting. The Anarch barons sitting uncomfortably at the table after the visit of one Jonathan Phillips. The silence was deadly, and only after a few moments does the silence break, broken by the prince. Leslie, you may take it away.
Sorry for that rather inconvenient moment on a very important matter. I will talk with the Keeper of Elysium to see how he wants that particular incident handled.
The barons all nod. Well, Sophia speaks up. Well, we were talking about information and divvying it up, who we are to go after, and we will need some details. A drop point, maybe.
Where do you think your strengths lie with the information given so far? What would be easier for you guys to handle?
I would feel we could probably have eyes on the areas of, say, the David Jones departments. We could probably get eyes on them more confidently. We have been doing it so far already.
Okay, so then that'll leave the names to us to handle.
You could divvy the names in half if you like. We can strengthen numbers. You could put a few on yours and a few on ours, as well as we hold the department stores. We have a lot of numbers in the anarch relationships that we have.
Very well.
Curiosity being, if you have eyes on David Jones and everything like that, have you noticed any of your non-kindred being tracked and traced?
None of ours at this current point in time, no.
Be aware that that is a thing. You go in there, they've got software. They'll track it onto your phone.
We're aware that kindred cannot enter these spaces. Nothing seems to stop our ghouls from going in and out, though we haven't been made aware of any issues.
And they'll also go after any humans that you may have in your employ or disposal as well. Just be aware of that.
Noted. She looks back to you, Prince. Sorry, I can't help but... that was the Archbishop of the Sabbat who just poked his head in here, was it not?
Correct.
Is he welcome here?
In this particular meeting, no, he wasn't. However, this is Elysium, and he is welcome under the neutral laws that we have.
That's fair. When we say we're all as one against the SI, should we include them or should we exclude them?
There is no deny that the Sabbat have particular skills where basically they give zero fucks. So that could actually give us an advantage.
It's also ironic that South Yarrow falls to the Archbishop at the same time the SI are start making their push. This is something that has me concerned.
My question to everybody then is, as much as all factions have a certain degree of distrust for everybody, shall the Sabbat join us?
The second, the man with the longer hair, the rougher voice, the one who sort of obeys Sophia more, he stands and he puts his hands on the table quite heavily and he says, "No, we shouldn't work with them. They are scum. All they care about is domination of everyone and everything. It would be dangerous for us, you included, the Camarilla or the Anarch. I don't believe it would be wise." Aaron, how do you feel about it? you're of the same clan as I. Do you trust the Sabat?
I don't know. I've never really had any dealings with them to kind of say no to. But what I've heard of them, they're religious fanatics, to my knowledge. So it might be worthwhile seeing what they know. Being fanatical, same as the Second Inquisition type deal. But yeah, as I said, I don't know. But
My concern is through the Hound's investigations, we know of potentially at least 2 Sabat working with the SI. One has already been taken care of. Second one, by the name of Billy, we know is working with them. The only information that we've got is a church in South Yarra. And Leslie looks directly at Pip. Pip, can you describe what you saw of the church? Maybe our friends here might be able to help.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's, and then I'll describe the church the way Pip would describe it, and not the way Grim would describe it.
At that, after Pip's described, I have kind of narrowed it down to 2 churches: St. Joseph or Christchurch. They're the 2 that I'm looking at currently.
Sophia nods her head and she says, this information you've gathered about churches, does it, and she's looking directly at you, Pip, where does this come from?
I saw it.
Oh, you've been
checked in
physically?
No, I had a vision. Premonition. Yeah.
She sighs. I will not put my faith in any premonition of your type. What about you, Miss Barnett? Your information more solid?
I'd like to think that his information that he gave me led me to look into it. So I would suggest it's very much more solid. I don't believe your prejudice against certain clans should be warranted in this situation. Everyone has a role. Everyone does what they must. We are saving and protecting the kindred from a threat. Everything is valid.
As you wish.
And let's remember, Sophia, that young Pip here is one of my hounds. So if he says something is valid, then you should listen to the information provided. If it wasn't for him, a lot of the information that we've been gathered so far would not exist. So I suggest you, narrow-minded person, settle down and start listening and opening your mind for once.
Come on, we don't want to be as human about this now, shall we?
I apologize, my prince. Pip, as you were saying.
So I saw Billy, and he was sitting in this pew in an old church, and I couldn't tell what he was doing. He was just there. I don't really have any more than that, I'm afraid.
Well, Prince, if we are to keep an eye on these department stores and just divvy up half of these people's names that we are to watch as well, who are we putting on this church? One of yours, one of ours, your hounds?
Since this is part of what I'm looking into, I will leave it under my care. We were just hoping maybe the description of the church that young Pip has provided might trigger someone within the anarchs who may know.
Unfortunately, the one person who might have known, Isabella Moore, is deceased. She met final death due to that cult leader that just showed his face in here.
Oh, I'm well aware of what happened.
My knowledge of that
watching.
territory is then.
You know as well as I do how much that South Yarra region means to me. So, I'm watching, as I'm watching them all. And the moment they make a mistake, it's the moment they will regret it.
That is good, because I'd like our deal to go through. If we help with this, solve this SI problem, and then with the luck, the Camarilla will help us with our Sabat problem, and we can probably carry on going and living in our what passes for peace.
Agreed.
The older man, Austin Murphy, speaks up. We were talking about drop points. I can offer Fisherman's Bend or Port Melbourne. It's bustling places that's still pretty busy at night. I would happily exchange information on one of those areas if that suits you, Prince.
Leslie looks over at Sarah just to gauge her approval, considering it's also an area she's well known to look after, or well known in. And she gives me the approval, then I will agree.
Sarah will bristle a little, but steel herself and just nod.
Very well. Name a place in Port Melbourne, and that'll be the place.
It shall be done. And all information, this is the storyteller now, all information will be behind the scenes. We'll get the details on those.
Mr. Murphy, did you know Isabella very well, or Isabel very well?
I did, yes.
Did you ever go to South Yarra often? I was wondering, maybe perhaps you may know where the church that we're thinking of might be.
Well, South Yarra was her territory before she was driven out by the Sabat. And by driven out, I mean destroyed.
Yes, I'm well aware of that, but any chance you would happen to know of what Pip may be explaining?
I feel like you mentioned St. Joseph's and the Christ Church. Mm-hmm. What Pip explains sounds more like the Christ Church to me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Murphy. Your information is very much appreciated. And I'll just look at Leslie and go, and nod, and then step back and let him go.
Good. Sophia scans the room, looking at the primogens. Pip and Aaron. Sarah, then back to the Prince. Well, Prince, this has been interesting. I did not think we would be sitting at the same table. Not in my lifetime, at least. So, I do appreciate your inviting us here. Is there anything else you wish to discuss?
I do believe, from my point of view, all points of the agenda have been covered. So, I will say I do appreciate that you did consider the invitation and also arriving. I know, again, relations are not that great between all of the factions. But if we as a species are to survive, sometimes we have to put those differences aside to work for the greater good and make sure that what we do will carry on.
Well said, Prince. You are not wrong.
So if there's nothing more,
No, we do have business of our own to attend to on this night. I do appreciate the invite, and the Adam Richards stands as Sophia stands. He sort of takes your lead, and he nods and he says, "Yes, thank you. Nice to meet you." He's sort of unsure of what to say. And Austin Murphy also stands. He actually bows and says, "It has been interesting, to say the least, and I hope this works out, and maybe we can look at working together in the future as well."
you never know.
The keeper of Elysium, who stayed standing by the door after Nathan went out after Jonathan Phillips, the keeper says, "Follow me, if that is it. Prince, I shall take them to the waiting area for their devices to be given back."
Thank you, William. We also need to discuss about what happened earlier, considering it is your domain, so to speak. I'd like to know how you would like that situation handled. I know how I would.
"Yes, sir. I'll deliver these. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere." And he sort of heads out, taking the anarch leaders, and the primogens follow, leaving Sarah, the Prince, Aaron, and Pip behind. We will just switch to the front foyer with Jackson Zane again, and we'll just do it around the table. I'll come back to you guys shortly. So, Zane, you're nearing that half hour while the meeting's been going on. You said you'd probably be vetting maybe specific phones at this point. You've only got about 6-7 minutes to go before all the keys are copied on your app. Any specific phones you have in mind that you would have been vetting?
Just the main people that we interact with.
So the sheriff, the Prince.
Yeah.
The primogens. Or the anarch leaders.
Probably anarch leaders.
Okay. And Sarah Barnett.
Yep.
Sheriff Prince, anarch leaders, Sarah Barnett. And our friend Jonathan Phillips.
Yep. And according to the Prince, has no phone.
So I was going to ask that. Now I know Sarah was using hers to message in the park, so she may have had hers on her. Sarah, it's up to you if you didn't leave it in Elysium. And anyone
come
else.
on.
She is way smarter than that.
She also did actually say to me previous game that she would not be taking any electronics into Elysium, so she has covered herself.
That's fine.
It's not a spur of the moment thing. That is preordained. The prince would also know exactly. He does not carry that sort of stuff with him. He has people for that. But you can definitely get the prince and the anarch barons and Jonathan Phillips. Now, speaking of which, Zane, as you're sitting there, a man comes into the corridor. He's pretty much 6 foot. He steps into the doorway and the guard points him to the phones in the box. Says, yeah, you can pick up your phone there, mate. This man has bushy brown hair, thin wisps of silver in it. He has a dark fedora on and a black coat. He looks to be 40s or 50s. He reaches forward into the office. The phone that has his name on, they print the names on, or put a little sticker on, or what have you. Phone that he reaches for, Zane, is currently plugged into your system. He leans forward to you. You're sitting in a chair?
Yes.
Yeah, so he has to bend down a ways. And he says, typical of the Camarilla to lie directly to us. This one is mine.
I'm just checking it for listening devices.
He picks up the phone, pulls the plug from it, leans in very close to your face, Zane. As he closes the lid of your laptop, he says to you, you may take this to your prince and show him what is in it. I have nothing to hide. But, ora nesifa. Now neither do you. He opens the phone, it's a flip top. He presses a few buttons, sends a text, and then shoves it into your hands or into your chest for you to take. And he says, Repassari impisi camarilla ficia. And then he walks away. You can say or do anything you like as he does.
What was that in English? I don't speak whatever that was.
Well, I do not know the full translation. It's our way of saying goodbye, or a way of saying goodbye. He then just strolls out the door. The guard opens it for him.
Do I get a feeling of that wasn't a normal goodbye?
Roll a wits awareness for me, please.
Again, wow. So if I get 2 with the star, that's counted as what? 4?
Yes, correct. If you've got
So
two of them,
that's
it's 6. Very good. So you might not know Italian, but something at the end of that sentence said Camarilla scum. It was something along the lines of, see you forever, Camarilla scum. You wouldn't have got the whole thing, but that's a high roll, so you get enough.
Yeah, the tone said everything.
The tone would have. And Zane, as he's walking out the door, is there anything else you'd like to do or say?
No, I'll just keep quiet now and start packing up my shit.
Yeah, with that, that's it. You've pretty much done and dusted. And the guard that's in there actually says to you, I've had message from the keeper that they're bringing the anarchs down. You might want to quickly finish whatever it is you're doing here.
How much time is left on that copy or scan that I'm doing?
It's at the 30-second mark. You're pretty much done.
All right.
Jackson.
Yo.
The door opens. And the guard on the inside opens the door. And Edwards it was. You see this man in black, the same man. He says grazie to the guard who's opened the door. He looks at you, gives you a nod, looks at the other guard, gives the other guard a nod. He takes 2 steps forward and then stops. He looks back to you and he says, excuse me, are you the door guard here?
One off. We have many.
And he points at both of you. Do you two think it wise to have all the Canaanite leaders amassed in one building within one room.
Now, based on information that Jax has about the Archbishop and descriptions that Jax has been giving, would I recognise him at this point?
So, not one of you has met or seen the Archbishop. The only information you would have on him would have come from Jenny or Billy.
Yeah, we haven't been given any major descriptions. We just know, I think we know his name.
Correct.
And I'm not sure, did she give us the description? I don't think she did she?
No, just his name.
Name.
So I don't think you would know of Hat.
Yeah. I'd say to him, well, hence the extra security, of course.
Of course.
And you are?
I am Genato.
Well, pleasure to meet you.
The noise of the news helicopter overhead can be heard. And he looks up. He says, the noise of that chopper irritates me. I'll take my leave. Oh, do you? Well, that is good for you.
It's been enough time in the city, you get used to the noises that come along with it.
'Tis true, I suppose. I like you. He stares straight at you. Before I take my leave, go in and tell your prince he is a fool. I was here to warn him, but he is too self-absorbed and angry. Avere una felice notte finale. And then I advise you to leave this place, young man.
Now, Jackson, having spent time in Europe, would have picked up a little bit of Italian, German, and probably French.
I will say same thing. Probably a resolve awareness being in Europe. And I'll say add an extra die to your pool because you have listed it in your character sheet.
3 successes.
3. Yeah, so he's saying, have a happy night.
And I'll bow to him and arrivederci.
Unfortunately, you need to make another roll.
Yep.
Because he was trying to do more than just have a chat. Can you roll an intelligence and resolve, please? And I will make my roll.
That will be 4 successes with a messy critical.
Messy crit. Unfortunately, I smashed it.
I can imagine.
I have 2 crits and 4 normal successes and a success on the blood die, which gives me a total of 9 successes. Not a messy crit, however, just a success on the blood die. So, the instruction he just gave you, you are extremely compelled just to go and see the prince and tell him that he is self-absorbed and angry and to have a nice night.
Well,
basically, the information he gave you was he's a fool. He was trying to warn him, but he's self-absorbed and angry. Have a nice night. Something like that. You were going to tell the prince. You pretty much want to do it right off the bat straight away. You don't really get much choice, unfortunately.
Well, in that case, I'd walk straight in. I probably wouldn't even say anything to the guards that were there.
Cool. As you walk in, he crosses the road whistling a happy tune. Once he gets to a shadow on the other side, he stops and looks at you as you're turning around. He tips his hat, and he's engulfed in the shadows as if he was never there. And Jax, you enter inside. You've got the long corridor ahead of you. You know exactly where it is to get up to the meeting room. You've been around Elysium. You've put in the security system. You have a rough idea where the meeting rooms are. On your way there, you see William leading the anarchs to another space. Oh no, he's leading them past you, heading towards the foyer where Zane is. But you're concentrating on the room that a guard opens for you. You can switch scenes to the prince and Elysium and rock on it.
Oh, wrong one. Oh shit. Oh, bit of a thing there. Oh, look, there I am.
So, Leslie, Sarah, Aaron, and Pip, you are discussing some things before Jax comes in. Discuss away, and hold on to Jax. You just stay in the line there, mate. You'll be good.
Well
Why do
done.
I
You guys did well. I'm pleased.
I'm not real comfortable. There's something not quite right within the balance of the anarchs.
And-
Very wrong, as in one is following Sophia, whereas Austin is not.
Oh, you saw that too, did you?
Oh yeah, and also the fact where he pretty much accused her of pretty much killing Isabel, or leading her to a demise. Where
I've
were
got-
you?
The thing is, they seem to be going by what we just saw, starting to get their shit together, which could be a good thing, but at the same time could be a bad thing.
I don't think
The bit that I was a little bit more curious about was the gentleman that came in.
By the way, I've probably given a little wave to John to do a sweep of the area for anything that may seem off, as in any bombs or anything that seems not quite right from where it was originally.
Okay, of this room or of the entire building?
This room and the entire building. I would have nodded when what's his name left, which is what I was going to say, but I forgot to mention it. But it would have been John.
That's fine. Would John being there, he would start in the room. He would have had time to probably scout the room and then head out. And I imagine Leslie would have had people on that too. Good as gold. Duly noted.
I'm not exactly happy that he was allowed in and he used shadows to come in and out. Very much like what was on the videos or from what's been described.
When the Nosferatu chick got taken out.
Yes.
Yeah, that being said, we know that she was an SI agent that infiltrated the Sabbat, not the other way around.
So, why was he here? What was his purpose for being here?
That's what I'm curious about.
He was here to give you a warning, Prince.
Muted best.
Sorry. And at that point, Jack strolls in the door, but he beat me to it, so it's a perfect moment.
You're a fool not to listen to him.
Excuse me.
And have a nice night, apparently.
Sarah wants to know if she can see that he's possibly being...
Yeah, so I would say everyone in the room, the four of you, would all make a wits awareness, because Jax doesn't quite see himself, but you need to wits awareness that for me. You'll need 2 successes or better.
Out of curiosity, because he's a soldier, could I get anything on that?
I would say an extra 1. If you have a bad roll, you can use a willpower to re-roll up to 3 dice as well.
Yeah.
But yes.
I got 3.
3?
I got 3 successes and I failed on the blood die.
It's okay, because that's a success anyway.
4.
I got 5.
Okay, good all round. Pip, also very good. Yeah, you can all see it. His eyes are glossed over. He's not looking directly at any one of you, even the prince who he's directed his information to. And I would say, Leslie, you would have seen this ability before in the past when someone's been mesmerized or controlled or dominated to do something. And poor old Jax has had that. And Jax, right as you finish that sort of delivery of that message, give or take as close as you could get it, you sort of drop out of the trance yourself. You don't actually remember even walking up to the spot.
I think someone broke Mr. Spencer.
Didn't break him, just modified him.
Okay, how do I get in here?
Have you had a conversation with a gentleman on his way out?
Would I remember that? Or would he have altered that as well?
So you would remember the conversation except the information he just gave you to deliver. You would remember everything else.
Yeah, I was waiting for... You know what I was waiting for. Yeah, some Italian dude come out on his way out.
Yeah, that
It's
guy
polite.
wasn't. Yeah, he was the leader of the Sabbat.
What?
Yeah, he came to say hello. I don't
Hang on a
know
minute.
how the hell he knew.
And Jax,
What
you
did I
not
just
see him
say?
Enter.
I didn't see him come in. Like, I've been out the front for like an hour. Like,
Mr. Spencer, you
Pep?
called the prince a fool.
What?
You called the prince a fool?
No, I didn't.
Well,
Why the hell would I do that?
I mean, sometimes you do. Never mind.
I mean, I've got a short temper, but I'm not that stupid.
No, I didn't think you were, Miss Jackson, but you did.
I don't think it was you.
I don't think it was you though.
Per se. I think it
Right,
was
you
that
guys
gentleman
are
leaving.
fucking losing your shit, eh? I don't remember anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get
That's
at.
what Dominate does,
Yeah.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
He crushed your will.
Well, I'm going to get him for that. And Jax will just turn without saying anything more and just walk straight back out the door. He'd be out the front.
Now, I want to know what he wanted to tell us. It's a shame that we couldn't just let him be.
Well, you don't come uninvited as an uninvited guest. It does not look very good in the whole scheme of things.
We might need to have a conversation with him, the anarch leaders, and all of, well, pretty much you and your Primogen Prince. But I suggest we do it elsewhere, because he knows about this place.
Everybody, El Kindred know about this place.
Yeah, well, no, more the point. He knew there was a meeting going on tonight in between you and the anarch leaders.
How long ago was this meeting organised, by the way, just out of curiosity? Because Sarah would know that.
I believe it was 2 nights before. The Sunday night it was mentioned by the prince.
So just before we got rid of all the, or had access to who the moles were.
Correct.
That probably would have been what was sent via text. Which means that probably...
Well, while our dear friend and Archbishop likes to play mind games, I can as well, and I can break wills.
Well, since we know that the church is Christchurch, anyone feeling particularly religious?
My religion normally involves alcohol, but yeah, I guess I could go to a church. Although, no, I guess that's wrong, because, you know, they are in churches all the time, sacred ground and all that. But yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, let's go. That's if it is Christchurch, though.
From what Austin Murphy says, it is Christchurch.
Right, this is in the area that they've just taken over, and they've turned that into their headquarters?
Well, what could it hurt to go and pay a visit, pay respects, you know, like he did us?
Hmm.
I feel like that could actually hurt a lot, really.
I think
when you think about it.
that could go bad.
Depends on how you plan on paying respects. A general conversation.
How I can be polite.
Yeah.
And as I said, I have no qualms. Well, I don't hate the Sabbat. I don't know them well
Not
enough.
exactly don't exactly have a fondness for Sabbat at all. But
They're just what I understand of them. They're not too much different to the way the clan runs, except they believe that there's a god, which I don't get. But all right.
They simply do not believe in the masquerade. They believe that they're top of the food chain and they will break the masquerade. As I said, they give 0 fucks, which is why I'm sick and tired of them, because I'm always the one cleaning up their goddamn messes.
So wait a minute. They
If they want to go out and nom the next person that they see, they will do it, and they will not care if anyone sees.
wow. Okay, that's
You can quite simply see that our dear friend Mr. Jonathan doesn't give a shit about Elysium rules. He came in and used what he's got.
pretty cool ability, mind you. Just saying.
This is the type of people and clans and kindred we are dealing with. People who do not care about the rules.
these rules are for our safety.
Pip leans into Aaron. He's like, Mr. Tomek, do you care about the rules? I'm a little confused now.
Depends which rules you're talking about, Pip.
Oh, so like a pick and choose sort of like canapé type thing with
Cheese platter, yeah. You just cut off what you like.
cheese.
Take this. Yeah.
Haven't
I
had
would have thought
cheese.
it would have been more of a meat platter.
No. Back in the day, maybe, but cheese is probably more along Pip's type thing. Yeah, or even, books. You pick and choose which books you actually like. You don't like them all, or do you?
I mean, they're all pretty good. Like some of them are like bigger than others, and
Leslie, this conversation between Aaron and Pip going on, sort of under not perfect quietness, but they're just keeping it down low. Leslie and Sarah, give me a wits awareness again, please.
I just rolled it and I still can't remember how many freaking dice I've got. That is 2
5.
successes. 2.
5 is good. 2, not as much. Sarah, you're sort of trying to listen to Aaron and Pip, and you did make a comment in the conversation. You're a little bit your mind's elsewhere. Leslie, yours isn't. Sarah's man left the room to do some searching. Nathan left, didn't come back. William's taking the anarchs out. And there is a hell of a noise coming from the outside of the building, which your building's damn near soundproof and impervious.
Out of curiosity, Sarah's background, would she know that sound?
Unfortunately, Sarah was busy listening to Aaron and
I'm
Pip,
like, damn it.
and the roll is a little too low. Prince, you've just got that. You've been around long enough. You're super hearing. It's not really that loud, but you're picking up on it. Thud, thud, thud. It's a helicopter, and because you noticed that sound, the roll you get to make, you're going to add an extra 3 dice to your pool. Everyone else is just going to be rolling normal. As that thunderous noise now, after the prince hears it, is within a split second muffled by the sounds of everything around you, just almost like a quake. There's a lurch of the building. The lights above you flicker, and then gone. Everything goes black. Things start falling down around you, and there's a whirring of a motor winding down, and sort of a whooshing noise of things flying apart. everyone in the room makes a Dex Athletics check. Magic, you're adding 3 to Prince's pool.
Can I add anything else? Because I've only got 2 dice.
Okay. Remember, you can use a willpower to re-roll up to 3, and if you can think of a better way that you would have gotten out of the way of this, which is hard because it's falling down in the black all around you.
See. Give me a sec. I don't know what toughness would do.
Toughness is generally how you're going to
It's
take
about
the hit.
damage. Yeah, how would you take the
Yeah.
damage?
Yeah.
And I got 6 successes.
6 is
I
good.
love criticals.
That's
I
awesome.
used a willpower because I only had 2 dice too, so
Sweet.
I re-roll 3.
Up to 3, so you don't have enough in your pool to re-roll 3, but you can re-roll any of the 2 you have rolled.
Right, so 2 successes.
6, 2. Magic. Please.
Can I use blink?
You can use blink because you heard that sound quicker than anyone else.
Okay, and I used my 2 willpower and I got 2.
Okay, sweet. So,
I get hungry on my rouse check.
all right. That puts you at 3 hunger, I believe.
Yes, it does.
Where do you blink to?
I would know where the secret door is in the room,
Correct, yes.
so that's where I go.
Okay.
Just for the roll. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice. Just checking blink now.
Yeah, I'm just.
It's just basically I teleport
Yeah, you
50
just
meters.
Good as gold. No problem. It's easy as pie. I was just having a look there. It's just a rouse check. So, and sorry, Sarah, I'll just get back to you in a second. Prince, you blink from your seat to the position of the secret doorway as things come crashing down. Everything misses you on its way that's falling. Sarah, what were you trying to do?
I will yell out this way.
Okay, you call out this way. So everyone, you hear the prince this way. It's dark. Sarah, you are doing what?
So I got 2, but if I did Defy Bane, would that give me an extra 2 with wits?
I will say yes.
Okay. Alright, I'll roll those 2 on top of what I got. And that would be 4 successes then.
4 successes.
Because
Okay.
it's a reactionary thing.
Yes,
I'd
it
have
is
to
a
do it,
reaction.
yeah.
So, 4 successes is good, but you will take 1 superficial damage as you sort of get up and head towards the prince's voice. Aaron, what did you get? 6, did you say?
Yeah, 6.
Okay, so you are quick enough. You hear the noise as not quite as quick as the prince heard it, but you're quick enough to move when the thunderous sort of bits of building come rocking down around you, bits of roof, bits of debris. You don't take any damage with 6, and you can hear the prince. You are unable to see, however, at this point.
I would activate Beast, Eyes of the Beast.
Eyes of the Beast, yes.
Yep. Which will allow me to see perfectly in the dark. I'm just trying to see if it has...
No cost, you're fine.
Yeah, it's a free action. So I would actually grab Pip and head towards the prince.
Good as gold. Pip, what was your roll?
2.
2. So you will be taking, unless you've got some sort of ability that will help you, you will be taking 4 superficial damage.
And Sarah's now at 2 hunger. I just rolled my round. Sorry.
Okay, good as
Yeah.
gold.
I have nothing, so Pip's just gonna be like, shit, fuck.
So right as Aaron grabs you, a few bits of debris, couple on your leg, one on your shoulder, something comes down around you, and you're all hearing that sort of whine of a helicopter, engines rolling down. The prince is called out. You're all heading towards the trapdoor. Sarah, you were the closest to the prince. His secret door and his voice, even though it's pitch black and you are very, very hard to see, it's very hard to see in there, you'll be able to get to the prince, being very close to him. Aaron, with your vision, you're easily able to lead Pip over. You guys exit into the secret door through a secret tunnel. And I say tunnel loosely, it's easy enough to stand up and you're not ducking through doors or anything like that. It's just a secret hatchway in between the walls, which leads you down a set of stairways and into the prince's main office. I will cut there because there's a lot going on here. Zane and Jax, back to you. Sorry, Echo, we will get back to you. This is all happening at once. Jax, you headed back out down towards the main foyer. William Chopin was showing the Anarch Barons to Zane, where Zane was at the front office. Zane, you finished up doing what you were doing. You sort of headed to the doorway to wait for Jax, seeing that he came past. The Barons pick up their phones and bits and pieces and head out the door. And it's right as they head out the door where you hear that loud crash. Jackson just turns around the corner. Jackson, you're hearing the same thing. The whole building shakes, the lights flicker and blink. They don't go out down here, they stay on in this part of the building. But somewhere up the top was a whir of a noise, really big crashing sound. The building has shaken. What are you doing?
So we got no debris? Or
Nothing
anything
falling down on top of you here, no. You're too low in the building, you're on the ground floor.
Okay, I would... Can I see Zane from where I am? Like, as I'm,
yeah, you've just come around the corner to the foyer. Zane's about 10 metres away from you, near the front door.
Okay, I'd just yell at him, follow me, and I'd turn and head back to where the prince and that were.
Zane, you picked up all the equipment?
Yeah. I
Okay.
already had it.
I would also draw my pistol as well.
Draw your pistol. Zane, one thing I will ask, you picked up your laptop, your phone that was, or whatever you had with the tablet with the app on.
Yeah.
And the phone that was shoved back to you from Jonathan Phillips, did you keep a hold of that? Or did you put that down in the box?
I would have kept hold of it.
Okay, so that's in your bag of goodies.
Back pocket.
Back pocket? No problem. All right, and do you follow Jax?
Yep.
All right, you guys head around the corner, upstairs, or taking the elevator again?
With knowing something's probably hit the building, I'd definitely be taking the stairs.
Okay, good. At this point, you would start seeing some rubble and things sort of in the stairwells on the second, third floors. As you heading up towards closer to the fifth, there's some busted doorways. A whole wall's moved in, and you can actually see a piece of the helicopter in the corridor here. I would say now at this point you're hit to the area where it's black. There's no power, no lighting.
I have a flashlight on my pistol.
You have your flashlight. Zane, anything?
As we're heading up the stairs, I said, "Why can't we use the elevators? I mean, come on, they're there for a reason."
Zane, have a look at that, and just point up to where the helicopter's poking through the building.
And you can still hear the as if its motor's winding down.
Can I stay down there now? I don't want to go.
Zane, I don't need your shit. Hurry up. We got to find out where
fine.
Aaron and fucking Pippa are up there, dude. Prince.
Okay.
There's people up there.
Okay.
What's awareness from both of you, please?
2 successes.
2 successes.
Same.
Zane 2. So, from the lower regions of the hallways, you can hear gunshots back where you came from. There's nothing close up in this corridor, but you can hear calling in the distance and gunshots.
I'd be ignoring it and going straight for the meeting room.
Sweet. You know where the meeting room was? You just came from it. The door is closed.
I'd try and open it, see if it's... I mean, obviously, just try and burst into the room.
Sweet. So you sort of kick it open?
Yeah.
No worries. You kick the door open. No strength check needed. It's easy as. And in here, it's pitch black once again, but with you throwing your torch around, you can see rubble, bits of the roof and bits and pieces have fallen in. There's more from the corridor that you just entered. You can see part of the helicopter. There's more of the helicopter showing through this area, through like the hallway, where the hallway wall joins on to the room, and then the roof. There's quite a section of the helicopter just smashed into the top of this area here. You can now, Magic, if you can just say in chat, or speak, it doesn't matter, it'll come through. Did you shut the secret door behind you, or did you leave it open?
No, I would have closed it behind me.
Posted. Okay, so at this point, you're just seeing an empty room. There's no one in here.
Point of reference, Jackson spent a lot of time outfitting this place, including
And with the keeper, that's
with
right.
the keeper, and has been shown, again, up to storyteller how much he's been shown, but so with your discretion whether he would know this passage or not.
There would be many passages, and you would have been shown a lot of them. I will say there's a few you don't know. However, this isn't one of them because it's from a meeting room.
Yeah.
So I would say yes, you know that this one's here.
Knowing the prince, and obviously if he has made no bodies are here, so they've obviously made it out, I would go directly for the entrance.
Good as gold. So you're going straight back the way you came.
No, for the entrance to the secret room.
Oh, sorry, for the entrance of the secret room. Okay. No hassle.
Or secret
And
passage, whatever it is.
the secret passage entranceway, and William Chopin would have shown you how they open and close. You're leading Zane through. Zane, anything you're doing while following Jackson?
Just following him. Really confused.
Good as gold. You get through the corridor, and this is not something I had planned exactly. So, Jax, we're going to have everyone, or Evil, we're going to have everyone together. Is there a way we can do that, even if it's just voices?
I can do that.
Sweet. Echo will be out of the shot, that's all.
Yep. We can go back to main scene and add people.
Okay.
Easy enough.
Excellent. Might as well just leave Echo in there
Leave her in
anyway, because I'm going to jump to her while you set up here.
Yep.
Echo, you've headed back to the Haven. Within the half an hour to an hour of things going on here, you've received your text, like I said. Is there anything you'd like to do in this time?
Am I still driving?
No, you would be at the Haven by now.
Oh, okay. I'll just probably text Sam to see if I can get a copy of maybe what Sophie Hall's wearing for the ball. Made. And it's a tall order, but
Ooh,
it's
you're
pretty good.
going to try and find out what she's wearing, okay?
Yeah, and have a copy made. But, and tell him that we might be having, Peggy to live with us. So, that's it for me.
Okay. Just one question from me. With the information you would text, are you using that for anything else, or are you keeping that to the chest?
I'm keeping it to the chest, I think.
Okay, good as gold. No problemo. So the rest of you, Prince, Aaron, Pip, and Sarah, you reach the office. You've heard gunshots now. You're not on the bottom floor. The Prince's office is still a floor or so down from the meeting rooms. There's gunshots. The sheriff bursts into the office as well. Prince, are you good?
The bloody hell is going on?
I have no idea. It looks like the Channel 1 news chopper has crashed into the top of the building. But now there's gunshots. So I'm trying to see what's going on, but have you got access to the cameras in here? You should have.
Yes.
So bring up the cameras. Let's see what we can see.
So he goes to his desk and sits down and just flips a switch, and we'll see just a painting just flip up to show the screens.
Sweet, and you can see multiple screens. There's at least, and I'm going to put a stab in the dark here, of about 20 monitors that you can flip to one main view, and it takes up the whole lot of the monitors, or you can make it one monitor each or whatever. You've got an outside shot in one corner, and the outside shot shows just a few cars outside with bystanders recording with their phones. Men and women in suits with pistols drawn entering the building, and another camera. Men and women in the corridors, the bottom floor of Elysium, with pistols drawn, shooting, and there are some kindred attacking back. In the darkness, the corridors in the main floor are still alight, but in some of the darker areas where your cameras have gone into night vision mode, you can see kindred attacking men and women in suits. This looks fairly obviously like some sort of SI attack.
I think that was what our warning was going to be.
Yeah. By any chance, do you have an armory nearby?
Storyteller.
Prince, absolutely up to you. You would definitely have an armory in here.
I would, yes. I'm just trying to play it as like.
I feel like it's in the bowels of the building somewhere safe.
Yeah,
Sarah's
it wouldn't be anywhere accessible. It'd be probably down more towards where we keep the cells and whatnot.
Correct.
You've
Okay.
got a quick way to get there by any chance? Like one of those passages that took us from there to here? Yes? No? Maybe?
If that's where we're going, I can show them exactly where we need to go.
Prince, you have secrets everywhere, and this is one that Jackson doesn't know about. It does take you not directly to the armory, but to the cell block and the block where you keep one said person you know about, you and the sheriff.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about that.
At the mention of armory, Sarah's actually going to, and she was wearing pants, she's going to lift up her leg and she's going to pull out 5 of the scalpels that have been taped in a garter around her leg. And she's going to hand one to Pip. There's not much, but this is what I work with.
Mr. Tomic, I don't feel so good.
Pip.
Yeah,
Calm
okay,
down.
mate.
Calm down.
He did get fucked up upstairs. You don't have any... Oh, wait a minute. I think we might have to knock someone out for him to drink.
Just cockroaches will be okay though. That's just their.
Yeah, I think they're fucked. Okay.
No, cockroaches are.
Yeah, they can survive a nuclear explosion. Now let's move on.
Just so you guys are aware, you can still hear shooting outside. Prince, your coterie, the rest of them have met here, just come in after the sheriff. So you've got George, Solomon, and Daniel all with you, but not Nathaniel. Nathan is still out.
Where's Nathan?
You can... What's awareness on the cameras? If you like.
What about John?
Asking the others, George, the older male, says, I haven't seen him, sir. He passed, and he's sort of scanning the cameras himself.
Okay, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Yep. Scanning the cameras, you see Nathan. He's looks to be second or third floor. They're very similar. He's attacking one of these people in a suit. He seems to be doing pretty well for himself.
I will motion to the coterie and say, take everybody to the armory, get people kitted up. Don't worry about me. And then I'll walk off to that other room. Sweet.
Are you allowing any of them to follow you to the other room, or are you expecting them to get kitted out here?
No. If I see anyone following me, I will tell them directly, you go to that armory and you get yourself kitted out.
Yep, I see what you're saying.
Sarah wants to know where John is since he hadn't come back.
John has not come back. You're trying to see the screens for him? Okay. What's awareness?
I can look at that too.
Yep, both of you. Anyone looking at the screens anyone who knows John can look for him. The rest...
That's 3
4.
successes
3
with
and
1
4.
failure on the blood dice because I've got 2 blood dice.
No problem. It's still success. So 3 and 4. Yeah, you both spot him. Leslie, you would have spotted him first, but Sarah definitely known the guy she's looking for. He'd be on the floor, 1 floor below you, and he is defending himself pretty well. He's got his gun out and he's just boom, and he's just, as you watch the screen, he fires down, takes out an agent, not before taking a shot to the arm himself. Is he kindred or ghoul? I cannot remember.
He is kindred.
So he is doing all right.
Okay. And I'll start going to the armory and getting the knives and because I don't use guns, I use knives and anything, poles and stuff.
So the rest of the Princess Coterie, I would say, lead you to this armory. They know it well. The sheriff has pulled out his own weapons and he headed back out the door. If no one disagreed, he headed out the door of the office, not towards the armory. Anything you guys want to do or say there before leaving him, or him leaving you? By the way, he has a heavy machine gun.
Good hunting.
Oh,
Yeah. Good luck, Marco. And I'll start. Yeah. Is Pip coming with me? Because I was kind of trying to draw him with me.
So we'll just see. Pip, are you going with Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron, are you following Sarah and the coterie as well?
Yeah, I'm going with them.
Sweet. And Jackson Zane. Jax, you?
Yeah, well, had we made it into the office before they left the office?
Sorry, I would say yes.
Because we're moving pretty quick,
yes.
so...
Yeah, you were quickly down the corridor. Sorry, I should have said that. Yes,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
believe you're all together now, except for Echo.
So, yeah, it'd be like, okay, I'm all good. I mean, I could always do with a bigger gun. Aaron, here, take this for the time being, and I give him my other pistol. Just so he's armed while we go to the armory.
So just so you're aware, those of you who are in the meeting room without your electronic devices, they would still be downstairs. Zane, you probably took yours with you because you're conniving.
Yes.
But I believe Jackson's would also still be downstairs.
I never went inside, so I never gave mine up.
Okay.
I was only into the office and back out.
You were off and out. That's
and
right.
I walked in when the dude compelled me to, and I was not stopped.
No, you were not. That is true. So I will give you that. You would have yours as well.
Not that it really matters, but
no.
I doubt he's not going to be using it.
So as you guys head off, the sheriff with his automatic rifle just gives a grin and says, "Well, I've been meaning to feed the snake tonight anyway," and just kicks the door out, and away he goes.
We'll see you soon.
Phrasing.
As we're walking and running, I'm going, and she's given Pip the knife. She's going to go, now, in here. This is where you go. This is where the main artery is. That's where you stab. Okay? That's almost an automatic death. Okay?
Okay. I don't know that that's going to work out too well.
Really got to find him blood.
Yeah, I think we do.
So the damage you took was superficial, Pip, but yes, it'll heal, but not too fast, not as quick as you'd like, but it was superficial.
Yeah.
The lead down into the next area, sort of through the corridors where the coterie take you into an open space, leads you to I would say it's not a you'd expect like a metal door with bars and all that kind of stuff, but it's not obvious at all. It's almost like another secret hatch. The coterie sort of George, the older guy, sort of puts his hand on the wall, gives it a bit of a push, and then you hear like a latch give behind, and then he slides the wall open, and then there is the expected metal door. He's able to unlock that pretty easily. He has keys. But slide bolt sort of system going on with some rather large locks gets that, and it's not just a single door, it leads to another one and then another one before you can actually get into the armory itself. The armory is loaded with many years of different weapons. From the times World War I, World War II weapons that you can see in there, and newer style weapons. Just about everything you could think of, just about.
Jackson's probably almost going to be drawn to anything that looks like a Thompson machine gun with a barrel magazine.
Yeah, so the Prince being the man he is, there's plenty of those there.
That is Jackson's era as well. So
absolutely. And the coterie, George, Solomon, Daniel, all head for those as well.
Out of curiosity, is there anything like the neck wires or anything like that? Things that lethal but non-firearm, that kind of situation.
Yes. So it takes looking at the sort of rows. You can see rows of guns and that, but it takes your eye viewpoint down to sort of these metal drawers, and as you open them, they are like the garrote type rings with a wire, and there's some smaller, more feminine weapons as well.
Fucking insane.
What's that in Skype, is it?
So yeah, more, and it would be more along the.
He's looking for a drone, viewers, just in case you're wondering. He's looking for
Yeah,
a
yeah.
drone.
Sorry.
No, there is
fucking hell.
nothing.
Control track drone. Come on.
There is nothing in this room that goes to the point of super electronics. Everything is fairly old school mechanical. Even the newer weapons, there's not the newest of new. You know, you're not seeing like 4-barreled missile launchers or anything like that. It's pistols, weapons, swords, knives, things like that.
Out of curiosity, would there be any military style sabers? World War One, World War Two esque.
Not that
officers,
old, no.
sabers.
There's
Something
definitely
similar to that.
Something similar to that,
Yeah.
but not the ancient style sort of ones. But yes, there
Jackson would grab a sword as well. Just
Okay.
again, that's his thing. So
Yeah, so sword. I would have grabbed one. As long
Good
as
to
it
know.
was weighted. But yeah, mainly the grotto type situation.
are good as gold. Just make a note of what you pick up.
Okay.
That would be fine. Aaron,
I would literally only be picking up a shotgun, preferably pump action.
Space 12, man. You guarantee there's a Space 12
easy
in there.
enough to find. Yep,
Yeah,
easy enough
like
to find.
that's it. And I'm looking at them grabbing all these melee weapons, and then I just make my hands shape in, claws come out, and I go, "These guys are so weak." And then throw a weapon away.
Jackson's tempted to shoot him in the face to see how strong he really is, but holds back.
No problem. Zane, you're not finding much in the way of electronic weaponry here. No drones, no
I'm not
surface
looking.
air controls.
I would shove a pump action shotgun into Zane's hands with a belt, probably a belt of ammo or a box of ammo. Protect yourself, Zane.
How?
Those go in there,
Point.
point and pull the trigger.
Point the
Humans fall down.
Yeah. If he's got shot, like
It'll be
bullets,
just buckshot. It'll be buckshot.
yeah, if it's buckshot, just point and pull the trigger, Zane. You're gonna hit something.
As long as you don't point it at us. Point it at us and you can, just don't do that.
Yeah.
Pip, are you doing anything in this space? Are you looking for weapons at all? Or are you just happy with what you've been given?
Pip's gonna look for a knife, but he's also gonna look for somewhere where he can't be seen by the others. If
Okay.
there's a spot in the room.
There's plenty of spots in the room. It's quite dark down here. The lights are almost like it's like the emergency lighting system's on. So you've got a lot of shadows, a lot of space where there isn't full lighting. So it's easy enough done, and plenty of knives and daggers. So yes, you can grab anything you like.
Yeah, so he says out loud, "I think I know how," and then he covers his mouth, and then I'm going to use unseen passage, which is a rouse check,
It is indeed.
and I get hungrier.
Okay, so
Which tracks.
that's okay. You're at two hunger. And I'm not going to go into descriptive of the beast every time someone goes hunger. I feel like you guys get the picture. However, I will say that those of you who have gained hunger on this night, the more areas you go into that are going to be damaged and the more shooting that's going on, there could be possibilities of danger frenzy in that. So you do have to watch the hunger as the beast within you all is willing to get out and do some damage. With that though, Pip disappears from sight. You guys
Would
can
I
hear.
have seen him? Because even though he went into the shadows, I'd still see fairly well in
eyes
this
of the
room.
beast, yeah.
Yeah.
So he specifically was looking for a place, maybe while you guys were looking for weapons, because he can't activate the power if someone's looking directly at him.
Ah, okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I finally worked that out.
So he would have waited. Probably, Aaron, while you were reaching for your gun, I would say that that's the point. Everyone's sort of grabbing for stuff. He's gone, okay, I'm just going to move back, activate this, and that would be the only way it would work.
So it would be
eyes-
after he's disappeared. I've looked around and gone,
Right, yep.
he's done it again.
Who?
Pip.
What's Pip done?
He
Oh,
has
that.
this-
It's probably a good idea. It's probably safer if he stays. Zane, actually, you stay here and look after Pip.
Wait a minute. How like we're underground in this, or are we on the first floor?
No, so you are one below the first floor, so one level below the first floor. There is
I-
another level down.
Yeah, I think this would probably be a pretty secure place. So
Well, looking at the doors we came in, if they close those doors, no one's getting back in here unless they want them to.
yeah, I
So
think
they're
that's
probably
a
the
good idea.
safest place for them.
I have one question to Storyteller.
Yes.
How fortified is it down here?
So everything in here looks like a World War II bunker. It is solid, thick walls, and you would only have to ask one of the coterie, and they would tell you. Solid, thick metal walls. Everything is.
Yeah, who is with us actually? Sorry.
Okay, that answers my question anyway. It means I can't do anything electronic down here.
Yeah, to be minimal, it's going to be blocked.
I can't even do the cameras, so.
Yeah, no, unfortunately not. No. So who was with you? So Leslie's coterie, George Freeman. He's about a 50-ish looking year-old male, sort of grey in hair. Solomon. Well, you probably don't know their full names. Just George Solomon. He's about a 40-ish looking male as well. Sort of more brownish hair, a little bit of stubble. Daniel Connor, another male, late 50s again. He has the Irish accent that I don't do, if you remember rightly.
That's right.
And that is all.
Jackson would turn around and say to one or all of them, "Are we good to leave?" Well, one you can't see, but are we good to leave these guys here? They're not fighters. I think they'll be safer here. Or we go deal with whatever the hell is going on up there.
George sort of nods and says, yeah, this is one of the safest places around here. We can hold this room, but if they get in here, they get the armory. We could go to another area if you wish.
Nah,
I think this is good enough. I mean, Zane will protect
himself. If someone came through that door, he's got the shotgun. He's just got to point the boom end, and yeah.
Solomon's
speaking of that, Zane.
While he's looking down the barrel.
Zane.
God.
Stop being bad in. Okay.
Zane, Google it.
He can't.
Oh shit.
There's no way of doing that. But Zane, if you hear 2 knocks,
we're not going through that bullshit.
And then 2 knocks, it's us. So you don't actually need to shoot. Okay?
2 knocks and 2 knocks.
Yeah, 2 knocks, a break, and then 2 knocks.
Right.
You guys hear an explosion?
We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta get this fucking shit sorted.
Right, we're gonna jump to magic. So Leslie, you've gone down another floor through your key-coded doors, and not an electronic key, the old push-button mechanical lock with the twist and your extra keys that you have with you. You've gone through into your space, the cells, the area you know best. The secondary, what you'd like to think of as your secondary haven, the place that not many of the others know about. Sheriff, maybe a couple of your coterie, and that's about it. What are you up to?
So as I'm going down, I've made 2 rouse checks, which I've passed. 1 to activate. Hang on, let me pull it up again.
No worries.
It was Prowess.
Yep.
Which is on my potence.
Yes. And you pass that, that's good.
Once that's done, I'm also activating as well in potence, Fist of Cain.
Ah, yes. Awesome. So, and you pass both those. Good. Thank you for making those. That's good. Saves a bit of time. So,
and then I go down to the room and I open it up.
He is.
And I perform the ritual that is required. And you just, it's just an incoherent lot of Latin words.
Excellent.
And then I say, Alex, it's time to play.
Now, think of the scene here with in Silence of the Lambs, where they've got the mask over his face.
I know the scene all too well.
There's a person here, for those of you viewers, obviously, in chains. He's bound, he's masked. He looked to be asleep when Leslie entered, but once Leslie did his ritual, this person's eyes flick open as if he's just been woken, like an alarm's gone off in his head. Leslie, so you have undone the chains and released the mask before the ritual?
No, I'm waiting for him to answer.
Okay, he opens his eyes as you say it's time to play, and he just looks back and I prefer Xander these days.
Xander, it's time to play. We have humans, not so nice humans. And I start undoing the chains as I'm going. I say, I don't want any of our kind killed. No holds bar on the humans.
Usually when I'm let out, it's free reign.
This is the only exception. We're in Elysium. I don't want kindred hurt.
Yes, my prince. He activates Eyes of the Beast.
And as you remove the mask as he's doing that.
You see his eyes gloss over. They go red. And he smiles. The smile is horrible. And what's your height, Leslie? I can't recall.
I'm a short ass. Like it's like about 5'6" or something like that. It's like jockey size.
It is. Yes, you're jockey size. So Xander is only about 5'3". He's even shorter than you. But everyone who knows him knows that it doesn't matter the size. When a nuclear weapon is packed in a suitcase, it can still do the same damage. He, as you are undoing the chains and releasing the mask, he just slowly elongates his claws, the feral weapons, and he is making a rouse check for that, in which he passes. His hunger, however, is reasonably high because of the state he has been in. It's probably good that he passed it. And he says, so, Leslie, all humans can be attacked, correct?
In Elysium.
And I can kill them, correct?
Oh, hell yeah.
Then I shall see you later. And I have to make more ass checks. He uses misform. I fail a rouse check and go hungrier. And that puts him at 4. He grins back at you and says, may the dinner be fulfilling. And misforms and just sweeps away through the corridors, leaving you on your own.
And I immediately go through one of the passages as I was looking for Nathan and John, I was making note of where the SI was stationed as well, to see if any of them are near any of the doors where I can come for attacks from behind.
Yes, so what you saw in those areas previously, you would know that you can get in behind quite a few of the spaces. There's entrances and exits all over the place. You would be able to, especially navigating the secret corridors, you would be able to hear some of the gunshots and things going on, and I would say you would be able to, as well as the cameras within some of these navigating corridors, that you can re-access. So I'd say yes, you can easily do that. They seem to be sweeping the first floor, taking out what they can, sweeping the second floor. A lot of the kindred are pulling back, not because of the pain and agony, but because they're using fire rounds, and things are on fire now. You can see some of your kindred within Elysium, some of the Primogen exiting through secret passages and things themselves, frenzying or afraid of this fire. Yes, you can get behind them. Is the full answer. No worries.
Yep, so that's where I'm going.
Okay. You exit into a corridor where there's 2 agents ahead, and boom, they've just shot down Kindred. The Kindred's got claws out. It's not a primogen, not a just a car. Must have been just one of the workers here. You can see a couple of ghouls get taken down, but this one that just got taken down in front of you, on fire, screaming.
So I will blink directly to them, grab both of their heads, smash.
Excellent.
And because of the Fist of Cain, I'm looking to do lethal mortality damage.
Lethal damage. So, blink, does that cost you anything extra?
Yeah, it's a rouse check.
Yep. So just a rouse check for blink before you head into that.
Pass.
No problem. And the Fist of Cain, now, because they're human, I don't know if you have to do anything extra here.
For one scene, I can inflict aggravated damage to mortals and supernatural beings while
Absolutely.
brawling.
So just give me a strength brawl, let's see how much damage you do to this person. And they're going to make a defense.
This is a huge dice pool.
Damn.
With the prowess, I can add prowess.
Oh yes, prowess you can add.
as well.
Yep. I've got one success out of a pool of 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Oh, wow.
8, 9.
And your blood dice is good?
Blood dice is fine.
Okay. Because you're at 3 hunger at the moment, aren't you? So yeah, blood dice is good. So, no messy critical. It's a shame.
I was hoping for a messy critical too.
Yeah, you just go in and without even, you've seen them draw their weapon, you've seen them shoot down a kindred, it just sets the fire in your eyes. And you just launch yourself onto them. And how do you beat them down? You're going to beat them to a pulp. The aggravated damage is going to kill them. You describe that for us.
Basically, I'm just going to like clunk them back on the head so they fall down on the ground. And then I'm just like, with one hand on each body, I am just punching the living crap out of them. And the Fist of Cain, I am tearing the flesh away from them as I'm getting through their armor.
Yeah, you're like, and if the others could see it now, you're like a feral animal as you smack their heads together, and you can hear the crack of skulls as they both sort of cry out. They drop to the ground, and with your continuous bludgeoning, you can feel the cracking skulls as one skull just, the whole front of the face crushes in. The other one, you've almost tore the head off the neck with your continuous punching. And we're going to switch Echo. And we don't have to change scenes because everyone's there.
No,
Echo,
everyone's here.
you, in the haven, awaiting the team. There's a radio on in the background. News reports coming through. The Channel 1 helicopter has come down in the middle of Northcote, and a couple of buildings have been damaged. One of them, the Graveyard Bar, which you know is right next door to Elysium. And they don't call the building Elysium, they call it it's the ballroom or office apartments that are nearby. You hear the mention of the building name. The helicopter's crashed into the top floor of that building, doing quite a lot of damage. There seems to be some sort of explosions. The reports are that it's possible electrical fires or electrical explosions from distribution boards and the power pole that has been taken down in front of the building. Police and ambulances and fire trucks have been sent to the site.
I am going to grab my phone and text Aaron.
Okay. What do you say?
Call Aaron.
You gonna call him?
I don't know if he's gonna answer, but I'll call him.
You make the call. Unfortunately, it goes straight to voicemail.
No, it would actually ring right behind her. I left
Oh,
that
you
phone
left
there.
Son of a...
Oh, good call. Yeah.
Call Zane.
Okay. Zane has his phone. We know this. Zane's goes straight to voicemail.
The number you called has
Been
just
disconnected.
Oh, wait. No, it hasn't. Leave a message.
God damn it, Zane. Answer your fucking phone. And then I'm going to run to the Jeep. And I'm going to rush to nearby. And I want to climb on a rooftop to see if I can get a vantage point. Because I'm imagining they're not going to be coming out the front door.
Sweet. So we're going to skip the lengthy drive there because you can drive all right. But what we are going to do is give you 3 drive tests. Assuming you're trying to get there as fast as you can. Are you speeding? You're worried?
Yeah. Yeah, but what if I have absolutely no points in driving?
Did that make you just roll one die,
One die.
and unfortunately, if you've
blood
got
die.
hunger in your pool, it's going to be a blood die.
Success 1.
So, but if it's not just drive on its own, it'll be
Okay.
it'll be a dexterity and drive or a stamina and drive, your choice.
Okay, it's the same other way. All right. None.
None. Now you can use willpower to re-roll.
Okay.
So mark off a superficial willpower and re-roll up to 3 of those dice.
3.
3. So that's 3 successes. So you get into the Jeep, you pedal to the metal, you screaming out into the roadways thinking, what are you thinking?
That all of them might be there, and I need to get there to make sure they're okay.
Okay.
I'm very, very worried.
Second test, same test again.
2.
2. You pull around a left turn, foot on the brake, probably a bit too long. The butt of the car, the Jeep, it slides out a little bit. You're sort of overcorrecting, and you pull back into the road, take out a stop sign, and correct back onto the road. Not too bad. You're getting good time on it. And have you turned the radio on in the Jeep?
Probably.
Okay. You
Right.
hear the same news reports repeating there's damage. People are injured outside the building. Things are bursting into flame. There is reports from passers-by or bystanders, not from the news themselves, but passers-by are saying they thought they saw people with guns, which was odd.
Okay.
Third drive test.
Yep. Okay. That's a 2.
2 again?
Yep.
Okay. 2's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. All passes on the blood dice, no failures there, eh?
There was one was a failure, yeah.
Okay,
2
yes.
was
2's still a pass, so that's fine. The Jeep, the wheels are squealing every corner you take. You're throwing it around heavy. You're trying to get there quick. You're putting your foot on the accelerator and the brake at the same time like a race car driver, but it's not a race car, and you nearly upend it as you come over the footpath. And on the footpath there's a late night jogger, and you just miss them barely, and they sort of scream out, "Lady, can driver!" And you steer back into the road, straighten it up, past some street lamps, and nearby you slow down. Now you're getting close to the building. You're wanting to get yourself high on a building, did you say?
Yeah,
nearby?
I don't want to be close to fire, so
Okay.
I want to get a good vantage point.
So how close to the building do you want to get? A couple of buildings away, a block away?
Maybe a building away. Depends on how high the fire is. I don't want to
Okay.
get close, but I want to see the people coming out so I can see if I can spot them.
So the fires that you can see, the chopper, is obvious. It's visible in the top corner, on the street corner of the building. It's gone into the side of the building. It's you can see it sort of half teetering there. It's in solid, but it looks like it could fall out at if some of the building was to give away. There's fire on the chopper, fire on that top floor. There's fire on the 3rd floor as well that you can see through a window, but other than that, there's just black smoke billowing from some of the windows of the building. There are police vehicles and fire trucks arriving at this point as well.
I'm going to activate Oblivion Sight, so my eyes go black, so I can see in the shadows in case
Okay,
they stick to the shadows.
that is free.
Yeah.
So you now attune your eyes to darkness, allowing you to ignore the reasonable night black around you, the cloudy sky with only a slight moon showing. You can see fairly clearly, except for a lot of the windows of Elysium, especially made that you can't see through them.
I imagine Echo would think no one has their phones if Zane doesn't have his phone. So I'll try to call Jackson.
Okay. Jackson, your phone's on you, and
Yep.
you are moving through the building outside of the armory now, are you not?
Yes.
So, your phone goes.
You're muted.
I'd answer it.
You are muted, sir.
Sorry. I'm just trying to think whether he'd bother to answer it or not, given the situation.
That's a good point. You were moving through the
Um,
corridors with Aaron in tow, holding a gun and hearing gunshots. So correct. It's up to
It
you.
would be it'd be a ringtone that I've set for the hounds, so I probably would answer it and just chuck it in my breast pocket, chuck it on speaker,
Okay.
which would give Echo all of the surrounding sounds.
Okay, so Echo, the phone picks up and you just hear. It's not close, but Jackson and Aaron, it's getting closer.
And all I say is, Elysium under attack. Get word to my guys if you can. Number should be in your phone.
I'm out at the southeast building, on the ceiling, on the roof. Try to get to it. I'll call. And then I'll make a call to. Do I have this guy's number? Yeah.
I put it in your phone. Do you have Josh's phone? Joe's phone number.
Okay, and I will call Joe and I will tell him.
Just before we carry, would you have made her put it in her normal phone because she doesn't have a burner phone?
Yes, was in a normal phone.
Okay. So, good call. Yes, so it's easy enough. You get a hold of Joe. He says, sort of a curious, hello?
This is Echo. With the hounds. Jackson is at Elysium.
I know you. Yep.
Yeah. Elysium's under attack. He's in there. So.
Oh, shit.
He wants to get a call to you guys.
Okay, we're on our way. Tell him we're on our way. You guys hold tight. And he just hangs up. You don't hear anymore. We're going to jump back into the rest of everyone, except for Magic, except for Prince Leslie, inside the building, inside the armory. You can hear as Jackson and Aaron have stepped out of the building, or stepped out of the armory, you can hear there's like a grenade sound goes off. Then you hear a few shots. Maybe some screaming, but after that the doors close automatic, on a spring return and latch, and the sounds are very muffled now. What's happening inside the armory?
Well, Sarah probably would have left as well.
You would have left too?
Yeah, I would have left because I wouldn't have grabbed what I had without that.
Without it, that's fair. That's fair. So you've followed Jackson Aaron.
I wouldn't say I followed. I'd probably be leaning more towards looking for John and stealthing as much as I can along the corridor, so I'm not seen.
Okay, so we'll jump to you shortly. Just those in the lockup at the moment. So that's Pip and Zane and the coterie. Pip and Zane.
So Pip looks over to Zane and then he finds a place on him where he's bleeding and he scrawls a message on the floor and then he throws a knife over towards the message hoping that Zane will see it.
That's actually a really good idea. So, Zane, what's awareness? Actually, you threw a knife, so it's going to make a noise. You're gonna hear that. It's not going to be a problem. What did you write on the floor, Pip?
Hide, maybe. Also, I think vegans would taste nice. Hopefully, we can find out.
Yep. If you hold that thought. So I'm currently looking for anything electrical.
There's lights in the room.
Is that it?
Sockets in the room, so you can plug your computer in.
No, that's not what I'm looking for.
That's about the only electrical things you can find. No, wait. There's a taser and a shock baton. Multiple.
Multiple shock buttons?
Multiple tasers, multiple shock batons.
Okay, so I get a bunch of the shock buttons and put it close to the door. And I get all the tasers from each on a table. And yeah, just for ready access. Not that I know how to shoot.
So with the shock batons, you're just putting them on the floor ready, or are you trying to do something specific with them?
There's no taps or anything, or water mains or anything, is there?
No sinks or toilets or anything like that in the space. It's purely an armory with some hot points and lights.
Pip! Do you need to go to the toilet?
You would know, like any other vampire would know, you don't have normal bodily functions.
Here's a question. Here? You still here?
Pip wouldn't answer.
Oh. So I decide against all that and start pulling down one of the shock buttons,
Okay.
like stripping it down.
Stripping it. Okay, no problem. And you can see within the shock button, it's fairly simple the way it works. The button allows the charge of the battery pack to feed up the wiring inside it, the copper wiring inside it, and it basically feeds a neutral to one side and a positive to the other. And when you touch something with it, they complete the circuit and gives the charge. Seems to be quite a hefty charge. A lot of volts, not a lot of amps, which is how they work.
So this door that I'm looking at, it's the entire room's like that, yeah?
Yes, yeah. It's all metal, solid metal rivets.
That'll be bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just going to sit down at the table with all the tasers in front of me. So anything that comes through, I pick one up and fire, pick another up, fire.
Yep, sounds good to me. Pip, you're just happy waiting there, or is there something you'd like to do invisible?
I'll get the pistol out that Jax gave me and the scalpel in the other hand and just sort of be as close to the door but sort of like to the side just in case someone comes through.
Okay, cool. Very good. With that, we will move to the corridor space. We will start with Sarah and then we'll move to Jax and Aaron. Sarah, Jax and Aaron take the right corridor towards some of the noises. You're looking for your man, knowing the building and where you saw him on the cameras. If you take the left corridor, you can take the stairs up, and that would lead you closer to where you saw him in the camera.
Mm-hmm.
You're heading that way, no hassles, till you can hear gunshot ahead of you and the sound of fire.
I'm going to, and because this isn't a reaction, I'm going to defy Bane, so I don't need to roll for it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to stick to the shadows, peer out, and see if I can see John.
Okay. Well, you have luck on your side. If you go, give me a wits awareness to see how much detail I'm going to give you.
That's one success with a critical fail on the blood die.
Okay. You can use a superficial willpower to roll one of your failed dice, but you cannot re-roll the blood die.
Fuck. I will roll. That's 2 successes.
Okay, 2 successes. 2 successes is a pass. The critical fail, and I've been reading up on this, I'm pretty sure the critical fail doesn't count because it's a pass, so you should be fine. But it would have been a fail prior to that had you not used your willpower. So.
Oh yeah.
So, as you peer around the corner, he is hand-to-hand with one of these agents. Using his abilities and skills, he's on top of the agent. The agent has a gun just nearby, but this agent, and it's a male agent, is doing fairly well for himself. You can see the training, the military training, the hand-to-hand combat, defense. He's warding off everything that John does. John's getting angry, and you can see he's got his fangs out, about to go for him. You're there, but the agent gets John right in the neck as you poke your head around the corner, and he's squeezing. What are you doing?
Am I close enough that I could easily get to that person and put the grotto wire around their neck and then get my fangs and sink my fangs into their neck?
So they are lying down prone with John on top of them, and just behind them in the corridor is fire licking up the wall. So you wouldn't be able to get behind them to put the garrote around their neck, but you could get in to get your fangs.
Do my fangs, and I'll actually drink from them as I'm doing that.
So you just jump in sort of beside John and just bam.
Yeah, and dram, and I would have also done lethal body as well, which is a free action.
Yes, I know lethal body. That's good. So that allows you to add your is it potence? I can't remember. Whatever dice you have for that.
Potence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to add your potence die to any strength check, which is what you're about to do.
Yeah, shit.
So you're going to go strength brawl because he is brawling with John. So you will have an extra. Well, you've got extra die with potence anyway, but add an extra die to that pool because he's already in melee combat.
Yeah, that's still only 3. That is a success.
A single success.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to use willpower, another superficial willpower to re-roll it up to 3 die.
Oh, why the fuck not? Yeah, no, that doesn't work either way. It's still only 1.
Okay. You get in there. 1, not enough. He's thrashing it with John. John's trying to grab the gun that's just off to his side. You go for which part of his body were you going for to sink in your teeth in? Arm, leg, neck?
I was going for the neck, and I was going to have a scalpel in my hand if I couldn't have the grotto. So that would have been what I had.
So you had a scalpel up. You're going for his neck. He pushes his arm up, not caring about the scalpel. It takes a scalpel wound to the arm as you try to get in there, but he's able to defend you, and he's got the other hand on John, which John now with one hand is making a mess of him more than you would. Unfortunately, you don't get your teeth into him, but John gets him, grabs him around the neck, and then just bites deep, just under where his hands are on the neck, sort of on the clavicle area where the top bone, and bites in. We're not far from finishing up. We're just going to jump to Jackson Aaron for the last.
I was going to say, now, share.
And you are able to share if you wish in the drinking. As we
Oh,
switch over.
please, because that means I can take a hunger if it's a soldier.
This SI agent would be classed as soldier, yes. So you may remove a hunger as you feed. Jax and Aaron, you've gone the other way down the corridor. A grenade went off. Not too many seconds, just as you went out the door, you saw the sort of last blastbacks of it. You can hear the agents calling in instructions to each other as your phone calls happened. You've stepped to the corner, the phone's hung up. You can see 3 agents in the corridor. 1 was back to you, 2 sort of on an angle kind of facing your way. They are facing off with 2 kindred. One of the kindred has just gone down to a fire round. They've been shot and their arm is totally engulfed. The other one is backing up, claws out. Could be a gangrel. Aaron has claws out similar to you.
So you could say there's one with his back to us.
1 with his back to you.
I'm going to throw up Dawn, firstly.
Okay, Daunt. Yep.
And also rapid reflexes.
Okay, so Daunt takes only a second, and rapid reflexes both free.
Yeah.
Lucky you. Lucky you. And
am I able to use a third discipline, because that's a free one as well, lethal body? How does that work?
So
They all last. They're all free. They all last 1 scene.
correct, but you'll need to. The thing is, you're activating multiple.
So rouse
activating
check?
Daunt's instantaneous. Activating rapid reflexes, even though it's passive, I would say you could do that. What's the last one you want to do?
Lethal body, which is the new one. So I'd understand if you want me to make a rouse check. So
I would say rouse check. You're activating 3 at once, so let's just give me a
that's
rouse
a success.
Good call. Nice. And I have to add lethal body to my list. I haven't put it in for you, but very good. And what are you planning to do?
I'm just going to charge the guy that's got his back to me.
Okay.
With the intent of ripping his head off, basically.
Sweet. So you're going to charge into him like a shoulder charge.
Well, I'm just going
you're gonna
to
hook
go
your arm over him.
pretty much arm around the neck with the intention of ripping his head off. And in my left hand, I have the Tommy gun. I'm just going to squeeze the trigger and open fire on the dude in front at the same time.
I would say we'll concentrate on ripping the head off part first, and then go to the secondary. Because as you're trying to grab his head, your control with the gun might be a little iffy. We may have to roll
That's
that.
fine.
Aaron, as he's moving forward, you can see he's aiming for this guy with his back to you. What's your plan?
So there's 2 others as well?
Correct. 1 with his back to you, 2 others sort of 3/4 turn. They can see you as you come around the corner. One's shifted his automatic weapon to face you guys. The other one's still facing the other vampire that had the claws out.
Okay, so I would pull up the shotty and shoot at the 2 other guys that Jackson is not going for.
No problem. So Jackson, you hit the first guy. Give me that Now you can make the call if you like. I don't. Oh, unless it tells you with lethal body.
It'll be. I
But
mean, it's a strength-based thing. So
strength brawl is what I would say. Strength brawl. And
My
Aaron,
favourite.
yours will be, and same thing. I say this to everyone. If you feel like you should use a different skill, let me know. But I would say dexterity firearms.
That's what I'd say it'd be.
Excellent.
5 successes with a messy crit.
Oh, messy crit. You tell me how you rip this guy's head off, and I feel like with a messy crit, the gun's no longer an option. You're just like, fuck, I'm having the time of my life. This
So
is
with that,
hands-on.
as I move in, I probably drop the weapon out of my left hand, drop it to the ground, and instead of going for the headlock, it'd be just literally grabbing the guy's head with both hands and just twisting it off like a bottle cap.
Ooh, nice. You hear that, and there's like a squelch of blood. And the only other thing you can hear more than this is the fire on the other vampire that's starting to squeal as he's getting shot at. But you drop the corpse to the floor. For the messy crit, I'm thinking you're feeding as well.
Yeah,
you're going in for the
100%.
feed, which you love to chase down. So I feel like if you stay for the scene without moving on to the next, you could remove a hunger point. If you want to move on to the next person, I would say you need to roll willpower.
I'd probably move on to the next, or attempt to.
Okay, so I want you to roll a willpower for me. So any unspent willpower you have left in your pool, so no blood dice needed, just roll a willpower. You're going to need 2 successes.
Yeah,
there
2
we
successes.
Go. Sweet. So you can go to the next target after we resolve Aaron. Aaron, what'd you get?
3 successes.
3
with
successes.
firearm. Yep.
Yeah, so you've used a shotty before. You take a step forward to get them both in that good spread and just bam. I'll make a roll here because they are trained. 1, 2. Okay, so one of them takes basically the full brunt of it. They're slightly, one's closer to you, one's just further back. The one who was shooting at the other kindred probably takes the most, doesn't really see what you're doing in time, and he gets slammed with that. What was your success, sorry, again?
3.
3. So he takes aggravated damage. He is not doing so good. He is looking pretty bloody. The other one took damage, but you can see they're both wearing pretty good combat equipment. They have been able to take the shot. There's a few scatter blasts up the side of the one closest to your face. He turns to you with his automatic weapon, and before you guys make your next round, they're going to shoot back. So
does Daunt have an effect on their aim at all?
That's a good point, Jax. So as you get up to jump to the next one, you've got Daunt
Daunt's
active.
up, yeah.
So
Jackson
would
be like yelling. He'd be charging at them, almost in a bestial style roar, just full, not frenzy, but just charging at them. Fucking humans, just going nuts.
You've contorted your face. You're looking menacing, fangs out, especially after you've just pulled one down, taken his head off. So I would say, it says here, so I have to make a resolve composure to even shoot at you without the gun wavering. If the gun wavers, I will halve his dice pool. So that's not so good. 1, 2, 3. And you will roll against me, so that will be for you. Where is it? Intimidation, there it is. So manipulation, intimidation for me, please. And add your presence to that as well.
That will be 3 successes.
3 successes. You beat him by 1. He will take the shot, but he's going to lose a lot of his dice. 2 successes. So I'll just get you to make a dexterity and survival roll for me, please.
Me or him? Me,
you, please.
Me?
Yep.
Dexterity survival.
Yep. As he's taken his automatic weapon and just straight at you.
2 successes.
How many, sorry?
2.
2. So you just take 1 superficial damage as he just about misses you but catches you in the arm. Aaron, the other one's firing at you. and you don't have a daunt up either. You've got your rapid reflexes and that. Don't
No, but I don't have rapid reflexes. I don't have that access to that. But I do have Eyes of the Beast
you?
active,
Eyes of the Beast. Yep.
which against mortals ups my intimidation.
Ah, sweet. Okay, so if you roll, give me a manipulation intimidation as you're sort of coming at them like a beast as well, and I'll see if that will affect him. And he will make a composure.
Oh shit! Okay.
Is that a good shit or a bad shit? Because I got pretty good as well.
So it was a lot of dice there, so it better be a good shit.
That's a good shit. Okay, so 2 pair of the critical makes 4, right?
Same as me. Yep.
Okay, so 4, 8, 10.
Oh, shit.
Oh, but that's more than me. Okay. and on the blood dice.
Ah, that's a success. That was one of the successes.
Not a messy crit though. Okay.
No, not a mess, just a normal.
Dang. Okay, so you've intimidated him enough that his shot is going to be very similar to Jackson's. Is going to be depleted quite substantially. Damn, I thought I rolled good too. So, you need to roll a dexterity survival for me, please. As he sort of aims at you after taking that shotgun and he's firing back.
2 successes?
2 successes. Same thing, you only take 1 superficial damage as one of the bullets just catches you, I'd say just above the knee as he pulls back, and both of these 2 that are in front of you and Jax are pulling back now. 1 superficial damage. Mark the damage, guys. Now, lastly, as we end this night, a dark black mist rolls in. I say a dark black mist, I tell a lie. A grey mist rolls in. And then a short man appears in front of you. 5'3" at best. Very thin features, very thin-bodied character. He doesn't even look sideways at you at all. But, Aaron, you would know the look of feral weapons when you see them. He drops out of his mist form and looks straight at the one that Jackson's put on the floor, blood everywhere, and you can see his eyes just light up. And then he looks at the 2 that you've just attacked. And this is all happening in a split second. He just rolls straight into one, and I'm going to make a dice roll because it's fun. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 7 successes. So he just rolls in with using his strength and brawl, and he just continuously just stabs down with his claws into the chest of one, pulls the heart out from the ribs as he snaps them open and just starts chewing on the heart while he looks up at the other one who's pulled the gun on him, points it at his face. He's going to activate another power, which is a rouse check. Oh, I passed that rouse check. That's lucky, because if I get one more, he's frenzying. So he uses Submerge Directive, which he is going to... Oh no, he has to make another rouse check because it's using another power. Pass as well. He's going to tell that character in their mind, he's eating this heart, and then he goes, point that at yourself. And the SI agent in front of you, you see just fighting his own muscles, turns the automatic weapon around, holding the barrel up at his face, and it's his full stretch reach to even grab the trigger, and you can see his eyes is like, no. And this character in front of you says, fire, and just blows his own face open. Doesn't actually kill himself because he drops the gun under the pain and agony, drops to the floor with his face bleeding, bits of his brain starting to show it. He's like, no, no, no. And then this man leaps from one body to the other and just digs his claws in and starts chewing into his heart as well. Just, you can hear the cracking of the chest bones as he reaches in. He looks over to you both and goes, run. And that is where we're going to end our game for tonight.
Nice.
I thank Leslie for releasing this character. Loving it. Excellent, everyone. Well played. I do apologise for Echo not having as much in that scene, but trying to make it get around everyone as best we can. But you did get there, Echo. You did get there, and we're going to continue this night next Sunday for our finale.
Awesome. So yes, so just a reminder, next Sunday night will be, as we say, finale of season 1 of the Vampire Masquerade, as newly named Vampires of Melbourne, Blood and Belief. So come back and be with us for that. That'll be so much fun. On the 5th of September, we'll be doing a mini D&D 5e adventure, which will be about 3 or 4 episodes before we get back into VTM. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, chat. Thank you, players, guests, Mina and Magic. Again, thank you for joining us and playing your roles as Sarah Barnett and Prince Leslie Taylor. JJ for dropping the subs. Dude, you rock. We've just unlocked our 4th emote. So we get another emote, which I'll be putting up before the next stream tomorrow sometime. So it'll probably be one I've had before, but it'll go up as a tier 1 emote. So it'll be another emote for all you tier 1 subs out there. So it'll be awesome.
Cool.
So we'll just go around now as usual. We'll start with me because I'm talking.
Yeah, you.
Moments from tonight. I would say probably the releasing of Weapon X, as Magic put it. Whoever this entity is, releasing him on the humans within Elysium. Just the viciousness of the character, even for the short space of time that he was there. It's pretty evident that kindred and humans alike are probably have every reason to be afraid of this person.
Nice. Yes, something we came up with a while ago and I've been hoping for it. Prince Taylor, your moment.
I second the release of Xander, but also what he just did in that last scene. But I think the line for me that I enjoyed the most was Zane's toilet question to Pip.
Good call. Yeah, having in fits. Loving it. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys are able to make it next week. We can move the story forward. If you can't, that's fine.
No, I'm good.
You good? Okay. Zane.
It'd have to be Pip. Something earlier back on the episode with one of the Sabat, is it? Leaders?
Oh, yep.
He did this.
Oh yeah, the whole no. That was with the anarch leaders.
That's right, it was too.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Magic, that's why I thought you guys, or one of you couldn't make it, so it's cool. We can advance that. You just let me know what you want to do, and I can give that narrative. Yeah. Sarah.
Obviously, the releasing of Xander, I thought that was pretty cool. I liked that whole moment. And Eve and Jackson coming in and just going to tell the prince that he's a fool and an idiot, and you're like, and you sit there going, I need to find out whether this is it's right or not, because he's gonna get stabbed.
I honestly
like
thought Jackson was going to die. I was thinking, fuck, I got to go do that to the prince. He's not going to be fucking happy.
That's the only reason why nothing happened, because he knew that you were dominated.
Yeah, and considering
if I didn't make that roll, you would have been in trouble.
Gathered that. It was like, oh my god.
So yeah, having to make the roll for that, I'm glad I passed so Jackson didn't die.
Very
Definitely,
good.
Definitely.
Echo, your moment.
I liked the Archbishop's accent. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, very good.
Speaking in
Thank you.
Italian. That was
Thank
nice.
you. Good
And writing on the floor to Zane. I think Pip wrote on the floor to Zane. And
Yes.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. Oh, well done. Sorry, Auntie, you about not having you in much of the game tonight. Pip.
I have to go with what Yanti said. With the Archbishop, the interaction with Zane, that whole thing with his phone, and you're like, oh shit, he's been sprung. And then outside with Jackson, it was just brilliant.
Nice, thank you. And Aaron.
Well, since everyone else has said the things that I actually liked,
Usually happens.
the helicopter falling down into it, like I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, there's a helicopter flying around and it's still flying around. I think that helicopter's about to fall on the Elysium, and then it happens. Like,
Yeah, I was thinking something. There was something going to happen with the helicopter. I didn't expect that though.
Well, we may find out exactly why. And my moment, and I'm only going to take one tonight. I write down many every time, but I'll take one from each of our guests. Leslie, I loved your. There's a piece you said about you're talking about kindred or something. If they want to go and nom someone, I think it was talking about the Sabat, and I was like,
that was great.
Awesome way to do it. So they want to go and nom someone, they just do it, and I thought that was awesome. And Sarah, your one was, is anyone feeling particularly religious? To talking about heading to the church, I thought that was just a really nice, just a cool way to say it. So yeah, no, and thanks again to being our guests, and hope if you're able to join us next week, obviously Magic not, but Sarah, if you can join us next week again.
I should be good, yeah.
And it will probably not be for a long stint, that's all. So, but just to the begin with, if we can.
Awesome. So, yes.
Sorry, just last but not least, this is a little unusual, but I'm going to do it because it's fun. Zane, the last thing you did last things you were doing sitting in that room in the underneath of this building, getting those weapons ready, you need to make a save, a dexterity and survival.
Playing with stuff he knows nothing about.
Nope, it's way worse than that.
Even better. Worse is good.
I didn't want to do it before this scene, so what did you get, Zane? Roll those blood dice.
You muted, Josh.
Yeah, I can't hear you, buddy.
So what am I doing?
Dexterity and survival, please.
Are not going to be good dice for him.
It can be stamina and survival, either way.
If you have no dots, it's just a single die.
Correct.
Okay, so I need 2 of those, 1 of those.
You may use a willpower to re-roll anything but the blood die.
2 successes.
2 successes. I will say with 2 successes...
And no failures.
No failures is good. Your bag, you hear the tone of his phone. Beep, beep.
You mean my pocket?
Oh, is it your pocket? Wherever you put the Sabat leader's phone.
In my pocket.
Message.
It's going to hurt.
You have a split second. What are you doing?
Pull it out quickly and toss it towards the door.
Everyone in the room towards the door. You're at the table. You said you're at the table doing bits and pieces with those electrical beam pieces. So you're about 5 meters, if that, from the door. The phone hits the door and a huge explosion goes. The inner doors are buckled, and everyone within this space, Zane, you will take the extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zane, you take 3 aggravated damage and 2 superficial damage.
Nasty.
And the rest of you take 3 superficial damage. That includes the coterie, whoever. So I believe it's just Pip and the coterie in that room.
Yes.
Yeah, Pip, Zane, and the coterie.
Pip, if you've used up your superficial, you start putting another mark on them to make them aggravated.
Aggravated, yeah.
And that is the real end of the game.
Shit.
Ow. No one gets that in their moment. Sorry, carry on, Evil. Announcements.
So when we end tonight, we're going to do a quick raid. I've got it all ready to go. But once we end tonight, can I have all of those involved in the mini adventure coming up on the 5th of September to stay in the Skype call? And I'll invite JJ and Roasted to come and join us, Nutty as well. So we can just do a quick 5-minute session 0 just to go over a few base house rules and bits and pieces before we get started. And again, thank you everybody for hanging out with us once again this evening. Appreciate it very, very much. Players, usual players, guest players, again, thank you. Make sure you check out Yanti One's channel where we do D&D and gaming over there. We also check out Magic the Gamer. Does a lot of RPG style games, some indie games and things over on his channel. Definitely make sure you go check out those guys. And yeah, so come back and see us here tomorrow for some Pew Pew Mondays. We got Pew Pew Thursdays, now we got Pew Pew Mondays. PUBG and Ring of Elysium tomorrow. Well, actually, no, Ring of Elysium tomorrow. We're going to swap them out week about. So if you have Ring of Elysium, it's free to play. We get four-player squads. Come and hang out with us. We're going to do some, go shoot some people. So I'm going to do a quick raid. We're going to end the show. And again, can I get the players involved in the mini campaign to come and hang out with us just for a few moments. Thank you very much, and we will see you tomorrow. Cheers, guys.